Cara, like to call to order the Kaiser City Council in regular session. It is Monday, January 3rd, 2022. And ask our city reporter to please call roll.
Councilor Kohler?
Here.
Councilor Herrera?
Here.
Councilor Reed?
Here.
Mayor Clark?
Here.
Council President Smith?
Here.
Councilor Starr?
Here.
Councilor Duran? Thank you.
Councilor Coleman is excused this evening. Okay, you working now? Okay.
Nope, it's dead. It's thinking about it.
Sure.
Testing, 1, 2. All right, we have liftoff. There we go. And with that, if you are able, would you please rise and all join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much for joining us, and Happy New Year. And we have nothing this evening under special orders of business. We'll go then to the committee reports, and we're going to start with the Community Diversity Engagement Committee appointment, Council Position 2. Councilor Starr, are you prepared to make your appointment to the committee?
I am. Thank you, Mayor. I had the opportunity and the privilege to talk with a few people regarding this position, and it is my honor to appoint Dr. Anthony Rosales to the position of the Community Engagement and Diversity Committee.
Thank you very much. For those who may remember, he applied for, but then was not able to participate in the selection for Council Position 2. And so his information is in that packet that was passed out to you if you want to learn more about him. Councilor Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So the gentleman actually, I'm sure there's probably an email, but he's back and he's back in the game. That's good. Is that the same gentleman from the school district?
Yes.
Wow, he's a good guy.
Yes, I think he is going to bring an amazing amount of.
Oh, no, he's well-rounded. He's very
Yes.
good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For pursuing that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Very good. I would also like to take this opportunity to do an update for the committees, boards and commissions assignments for the year 2022. And Tracy, I already printed this off for you. So you'll have a copy of this as I go through the changes. With bringing on Councilor Starr and also with some additions and changes with our committees and commissions, I'd like to make the following appointments. To the Keizer Audit Committee, Councilor Starr will join Councilors Kohler and Smith. On the Parks Board, with the concurrence of both Councilor Starr and Smith, I would like to assign Councilor Starr. Traffic Safety, Bikeways, and Pedestrian Committee will be Council President Smith. The West Kaiser Neighborhood Association is now both, Councilors Smith and Reed. Greater Gubser is Councilors Herrera and Duran. Southeast Kaiser Neighborhood Association, Councilors Kohler and Starr. Let's see. The Community Diversity and Engagement Committee will be Councilors Reed, and with the concurrence of Councilors Starr and Smith, it will be Councilor Starr as the second counselor on that committee. Make sure I hit all the points here. With the assignment of Council President Smith to the Traffic Safety Bikeways, I will be notifying SCATS, the Salem-Keizer Area Transportation Study, that Council President Smith will be my alternate, and I'll make the same appointment to MWAC, which is the Mid-Willamette Area Commission on Transportation. And those are both run through the Council of Governments, so I will send them an email with that notification. So those are the changes for the year 2022 for our council assignments. Were there any other additions or corrections to our assignments that you're aware of, or did I miss something? Councilor Herrera.
I don't know, thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't know if this is an assignment or not, but Kaiser United is my sort of what I.
Yes, that was not, I did not change that, so anything I didn't say, did not change from last year.
Gotcha.
So you're still the liaison to
I
council.
thought it was fired there for a while.
Nope, sorry. You can't get off that easy. Besides, that's an awesome committee to be on. Yeah, if I didn't mention it, the assignment remains as it was last year. We will send out an updated list for your records, so you have that. In case you wonder, am I supposed to do that? Yes, you are. And never hurts to show up. Okay. That is all I have under, committee reports. Is there anybody here to report on a city committee or commission that we may have missed? Okay, that takes us then to public comment. This time is provided for citizens to address the council on any matters other than those on the agenda scheduled for public hearing. We have no public hearing scheduled for this evening. And before we go to the people to speak with us tonight, I would like to acknowledge a written comment from Amber Del Porto, resident of Keizer. The topic is apartment construction on River Road backing Trail Avenue. She had some comments regarding apartments that are under construction in her area. And I believe we all received copies of this, and there was one of the issues raised, well, there were several, mostly objection to having apartments built in a multifamily residential next to her home. But one thing was talking about flooding or stormwater issues. And so I'd like to just forward this to Public Works, and maybe if you could get in contact with that property owner with that, or maybe you already have. Mr. Lawyer? Nope, not yet. There we go. We got a live one.
I have not spoken to this property owner, but I certainly will. We are waiting for some design information from the property owner on the development. Had some preliminary discussions with him and his engineer regarding the drainage way that backs up to her property and the apartment site. Let them know that I will not sign off on any permits putting any kind of material in the floodplain in that area, while it might be allowed federal regulations. The terrain, the historical knowledge I have of that drainage way, it needs every square inch of capacity it can get. So the engineer understood that, is working on revising plans. When I see those, I'll be happy to share them with the homeowner and anybody else along there, but I will contact her this week and let her know what's going on.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Davis, you have the email from Ms. Del Porto. Do you want to forward that to Mr. Lawyer, please? Okay, thank you. Councilor Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Question for Bill. Does this happen to be the same house where we had that monitored the drain that backs into that?
No, that's
on Trail, isn't it?
just north of that, one property north of that, I believe.
Okay, so it's not that,
No, it's not the one that
is that still a problem, by the way?
We've made some modifications to it. It hasn't been a problem for a number of years, so.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Any other questions? All right, that will conclude our written comment portion. Public comment, is there anyone who would like to address the council tonight? Do we have anybody signed up? Nobody has signed up? Open mic. All right, we're all being reflective this evening. There's nothing wrong with that. That will then take us to administrative action. Item 8A is a waiver of the community center rental fee, Marion County Reentry Initiative Breakfast. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I believe you all have seen the memorandum from our city recorder in your packets, which explains the Marion County Reentry Initiative request to waive fees for the use of the community center. My understanding is that they have made this request in the past, and the city council has chosen to honor it on the basis that this is a community service and something that is widely supported.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions on the request or the staff report? Council President Smith?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move Kaiser City Council waive or grant the request for a complete rental fee waiver, room rental including staffing and security and cleaning deposit.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the Kaiser City Council approve the waiver of all fees, including the room rental fee, security deposit, and staffing. Any further discussion? The one thing I would like to point out to anybody watching, if they're not familiar with the Marion County Reentry Initiative, this is an innovative and highly successful program for people who are leaving incarceration to assist them in what they need to be successful going forward with their lives. This has been something that the City of Keizer, Keizer Police, City of Salem, Marion County as a whole has been engaged with, and the peoples whose lives have been touched with this program have been able to move forward in a very, very constructive way. I know some of the graduates personally, and their testimony, what this program has done for them is very powerful in the affirmative. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. This takes us to the consent calendar. Council President Smith, would you please read the items on tonight's consent calendar?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There are 3 items. Item A, resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Valley Credit Service, Inc. for collection of services for the city of Kaiser. B, resolution authorizing the city manager to sign 3rd extension of production studio administration agreement. And C, approval of the December 13th, 2021 work session minutes.
Thank you very much. Are there any polls?
I need to abstain from approval of the December 13th, 2021 minutes.
Okay, so we'll pull C, and we'll consider that separately. Either the other 2 items. Okay, Council President Smith?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the Kaiser City Council approve the consent calendars, items A and B.
Second?
Consent calendar items A and B have been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. First, if there are any other business they would like us to consider this evening. City Manager?
I have nothing requiring any council action. I do have a staff update, but that's
Okay.
under the next section.
All right. Anyone else for other business?
1, 2.
So I do have one item I'd like to bring up under other business, and then the council can decide how to go forward with it. Just before the meeting this evening, and I apologize, it was a little later in the evening that I would have liked, I did send you a draft of an update on our work plan from 2021, 2022. We adopted that a year ago, almost a year ago, when we were planning ahead for 21 and 22, having no idea what 21 was going to bring. But also getting a tremendous amount of work done. So what I have done is gone through the work plan portion of our council goal and work plan and made some notes about what has been accomplished and what things we ended up adding simply by default, and a recommendation for one more item to add. So you're going to find this in your email this evening, but I'd like to just give you a brief overview of what you're going to find there. In our work plan, whoops, come back here, you. Thank you. There we go. In our work plan, we had several projects identified, and some of them have been completed. We had a work group for community diversity engagement. The work of that work group has been concluded because we have established the Community Diversity Engagement Committee. We had a project for council rules and procedures. That work is done. We have adopted the new rules, although we'll probably make a few more tweaks when we get into this new year, because we keep doing that. We have a project for training for volunteer chairs, volunteer committee members, and prospective committee members, and Councilor Kohler was one of the leads on that, and we'll have a chat about maybe another councilor to partner with you on that, to work on that project for the coming year. Okay?
Okay.
All right. The Parks Master Plan and Parks Outreach, the work on that outreach is basically concluded with the Parks Master Plan now in the final stages of public hearings with both the City Council. That hearing is open until February 7th, and is going before the Planning Commission. So that work on the council work group side is done, or work plan is done. The project for housing disparity and barriers to home ownership in Kaiser. This is Councilor Duran, Council President Smith, and myself to prepare work sessions and regulatory options for council action and discussion. This is something that I hope the three of us will be able to sit down and begin work on this year. Last year, we were not able to get to it. An additional project that was not anticipated a year ago was city manager recruitment. So I have added that into our list since the lead on the council, the lead is the council. And I've made note of that in our work plan. There were some other topics that were brought up during our discussion. Things like roadway markings, those shiny dots, everybody loves them. So, yahoo. Economic recovery and development partnerships. We have ARPA funding, the American Recovery and Prosperity Act funding, and that's now in progress with the Long Range Planning Task Force. We were talking about GIS, Geoglobal, I don't know what GIS stands for. Anyway, that one.
Global Information System.
Thank you.
Global information.
Teamwork. We had a wonderful presentation from our GIS tech, and we're making more additions to the website all the time for more information. An additional topic that didn't come up a year ago, but I'd like to make a note of now, is Kaiser 23 TV and the future of our broadcasting, our meetings. This is something we already had a work session on, and I've added it to our list that we need to follow up on that this year. So what I would ask of the council is that when you get this email, to read through it, where the notations that are in there in that draft, and remember, this is a draft, reflect what you believe we've been able to get accomplished. Do you have ideas that we need to talk about in accomplishing in 2022? And get those turned into myself and or Tracy so we can adopt an update or at least address an update for our work plan for 2022. There's only one other item I'd like to add for your consideration, and that is the fact that November of this year, Kaiser will turn 40. Yeah, 40 years since the vote to incorporate the city. And I would love ideas from the council and eventually the community on how we can appropriately celebrate the Kaiser community, the accomplishments, and what our city will be able to continue to work toward as a force in the Mid-Willamette Valley. So something to ponder, and then we can discuss that as we update our work plan. Questions or comments? Councilor Herrera.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Now, as we go forward, can we, say, when we overlook our goals that we were working on, some of the ongoing goals that I think we accomplished, you didn't mention, but I think, is there something we have that we can actually add if we come up with something that we think is important that we could bring up, or is that?
I think that would be very appropriate as well, yes.
And what I was talking about was, to me, as part of the outreach, we always do in outreach, I really consider the work with LAC as part of the council outreach because of all the support you've given to us and what we've done with it moving forward. I do consider that as part of our council goals. So
okay.
I would mark that too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm making note of that. Okay, so again, this is in your email inbox, and I give it to you as food for thought, and then we can bring it back for discussion at a subsequent meeting, either on the 18th or beginning of February. That's all I have under other business, staff updates. Mr. Hare?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a brief update on the city manager search effort that is being directed or supported by Prothman and Associates. We received a reminder today, or I received a reminder today, that our contract with Prothman expires February 1st, but the search is probably going to extend beyond that. Hopefully not far beyond that, but so we'll probably be bringing back to you a request to extend the contract. I've had exchanged emails with Prothman. Doesn't seem to be any problem with that. Just reminder on timelines, the next review of resumes is scheduled for January 15th. Our hope is that we could quickly schedule interviews with qualified candidates not long after that, although we're imagining that it would probably take at least a week or two to get that arranged. And then with Prothman's assistance, set up the interview processes, which would include the panels that the council had discussed and decided upon, and the forum, and I guess there were actually 2 fora that we're going to have, one for employees and one for the public. And with the idea that you would ideally be able to make a decision probably sometime early in February. So that's just where we are at this point. I haven't had any indication that more resumes are pouring in, but I would expect that right after the first of the year might be a good time for people to be thinking about it and hopefully responding.
Thank you very much. Mr. Wood? Oh, Councilor Rivera had a question?
Yeah, real quick, thank you, Madam Mayor. Do we have a plan B, say we don't have more applicants that meet our requirement? I mean, you know, enough to make a decent decision? Is that something that has to do with the extension, or?
Well,
because it sounds to me there could be more things, just like you, for example.
Yeah.
But I was just curious if there's a backup plan, if you will?
Well, yes, I think. Again, I would emphasize that this is your decision, so. But you did have 3 candidates that were deemed to at least meet the minimum qualifications. It was, one of the dangers, of course, in that initial judgment that there might be 3 that would be qualified is that there's no guarantee that you're going to end up with 3. I mean, we just don't know until you actually schedule interviews and get people here. And even then, you don't know how many of the folks that actually show up for interviews might really be willing to take the job. I think I've told you the story on a number of occasions that the person in the last city where I served as an interim who was offered the job did not take it, and they had to go out again for a new recruitment. But my hope, my expectation would be that we would not suffer a loss from that initial screening that Prothman did, and that you would have at least 3 candidates to consider. But really my expectation is that you will have more than that you might have 5 or 6 that would be suitable to consider for the position. And as far as the backup plan, that is the backup plan, that you'll get a better number after having given it more time.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Wood?
I just wanted to let everyone know that we did successfully wrap up our annual financial audit for fiscal year 2020-21. We did receive an unmodified opinion, which means there was no issues or disagreements with our auditors. This is a state requirement that every city be audited. However, there are some cities that don't get audited some years for multiple reasons. But this is one way that we show financial stewardship to our community. And again, if you're interested, the financial statements are on our website at this point, and we have submitted those to the Government Finance Officers Association for consideration in the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Well done. Questions? Okay. Mr. Davis? Mr. Lawyer?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just want to let you know that we're expecting some more rain this week, if you haven't heard already. Watching the projections for the alignment, nothing of great concern right now. I'm happy to say that I saw the projection go down a foot today to about 24.5 feet, Friday, Saturday timeframe. That shouldn't impact Keizer directly. We have till about 28 feet before we get kind of concerned, I will say. We'll probably see some more water on Jakewood, Hidden Creek area as the Labish ditch comes to capacity. We're monitoring it daily and just keep things, as safe as we can through it all. But I haven't seen anything of great concern to this point. One thing I did notice today that gives me some really good comfort is they dropped Detroit down to winter level over the last week and a half. So there's more storage capacity in Detroit for the snowmelt that's coming off the mountains if the weather does what they say it's going to do. So that's all in our favor.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that update. Chief?
I'll let you know, I'll let the public know, I'll let you know last week that we hired 2 this week, and we have 1 more in the pipeline, and it's a good place to be. They're hard to come by these days. Thank you.
That's extremely good news. Thank you, Chief. Mr. Johnson?
Nothing tonight, thank you, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. Council member reports. It's been the holidays, but something tells me we've been busy anyway. Councilor Colon, can I start with you?
Yes, ma'am. You can. Just a couple of things. I know a man that took occasion over the holiday to call some people that they just hadn't seen for a while. Some were elderly folks that hadn't really been out for months, really, and visit with them, and then some friends that they hadn't seen for a long time, just to touch base with them. And I think it just made me think, how often can we really just take a minute, pick up the phone, call somebody you haven't seen for a while, just touch base with them, how much better it makes them feel and makes us feel too. So I'd encourage people to check with people that are shut in and maybe don't get out too much, especially with the cold weather. I hope that people did that. I also took an opportunity during the Christmas break to visit some of our city staff, and I'm just so impressed with the quality of the people that we have, and just offer a sincere thank you to all that they do for us. And then the first Citizens Banquet coming up January 22nd. If you have somebody that you'd like to nominate for any of those things, that has to be turned in by the 7th. So you might look at the council website for that information.
Thank you very much. And then city council members who would like to attend the First Citizen Wars Banquet, just let Ms. Davis know. Your +1 is on you. All right. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Councilor Herrera.
Happy New Year, Councilor Kohler. You gave my speech. The elderly, checking on the elderly is something that I say every year, and I really appreciate you bringing that up, because a lot of us folks don't really realize that there's a lot of people out there. I learned that when I worked at Public Works, and we had folks with no water for weeks. But that's a very good point. I appreciate you bringing that up. I had a kind of, very festive with the grandkids and all that, and I very grateful this year that we're moving into 22, and I'm very optimistic, like I said, and we've been busy. I've been working with the Oregon Latinx Leadership Network, which is statewide, and it's really good, and we're having a big, our Judicial Commission is meeting the end of the month, and so that's keeping me busy. Also, I welcome Dr., our new member for the, and I don't think I know him personally, but I've read some good things about him, but and also, Happy New Year to everybody, and let's move forward and try to make us keep Kaiser the city that it is. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilor Reed.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I had a pretty quiet vacation, but I did want to acknowledge all the hard work of the people at the warming shelters. That was open for, I believe, 3 weeks. It started mid-December and went through Christmas, and then I believe, since we had snow after Christmas, it went on through that. And so many volunteers doing so much good work for our most vulnerable populations, and so I just wanted to acknowledge that and thank them for their efforts on that. Mid-Willamette Valley, okay, so I'm gonna hang on a second. Get this right. The Challenge for Ending Youth Homelessness in Marion, Polk County are working really hard to find a shelter, especially for the age group of 18 to 24. The homeless problem is each population needs different things, and so we're working hard to be able to differentiate and provide everybody with the help that they need and the resources that they need. And so again, a lot of great people doing a lot of good things with that. And we've got 3 more weeks till the end of the semester at the public schools. And so just want to encourage everybody to finish strong with that, and keep an eye on, be smart with your health. We have a lot of staff, a lot of kids out with COVID, and most of it's not too serious, but it is affecting operations in a lot of ways. So just encouraging everybody to be smart with your health and make good choices. So that's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have a lot tonight other than Happy New Year's. And just one note is it is very dark. It is very hard to see. Please, like on behalf of former Council President Freeman, she would always say it, when you're out walking, like wear bright, reflective clothing. I've seen a few of them lately that it's just really scary because I don't see you. And if I don't see you, then other people are not seeing you. So please just, be aware of that if you're out at night, that the visibility is very poor. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Councilor Starr.
I don't have anything tonight. I'm still drinking from the fire hose.
Yeah, we're trying to help stem that as much as possible, but yeah, it's quite an uphill climb, but welcome aboard. Councilor Duran.
I have nothing this evening, thanks.
All right, thank you. Just a couple of things I want to let you all know about. Tomorrow, the Mid-Willamette Valley Homeless Alliance Executive Committee will be meeting, and then the full board will meet on the 14th. Oh, I have that on here, but I put the wrong date. It's next week. Yep, it's the 13th. So a lot of work, as Councilor Reed mentioned, regarding the warming shelters. The response from the community has been fantastic, especially with as cold as the weather got and now as blustery and wet as it is, along with the cold. Getting people into shelter has been critical in providing sufficient safe, secure, and sanitary conditions for people to go to is something that we've been able, as a region, especially in the Salem-Keizer area, to increase significantly over the last couple of years. That gives folks places that they can recommend, that people can go, and then when they're in these spaces, be able to avail themselves of services based on, because of the great collaboration between our service providers. So your support for our service providers and all the volunteers, you're making a difference and you're saving lives. And as a community, we want to say thank you. On the 5th, I will be meeting with the Legislative Committee for the Council of Governments. Still working on what's going to be coming up in the short session, as well as taking a longer view in efforts for the long session for issues that are going to impact our 3-county region. On Thursday, the Mid-Willamette Area Commission on Transportation is meeting, and one of the key issues that's going to come up there is the new bill that has gone into effect, which is on speed zone and safety. And there's a bill that passed regarding the ODOT process for setting and revising speed zones, especially on state facilities. So we're going to have an informational update there, and I know that's of interest to people in this community. On the 11th, the Heritage Foundation Board will be meeting, and that is for all of the organizations that are housed in the Kaiser Cultural Center. Look for some great stuff. We've got some new art shows coming, libraries up and running, doing great stuff. Kaiser Homegrown Theater is planning the 22 season. And the Heritage Museum continues to make fantastic upgrades and additional opportunities for people to learn about and expand our heritage record keeping. The 12th is SEDCOR, the Strategic Economic Development Corporation. These continue to be via Zoom. I encourage all city councilors who are able to log into those economic forums. They are very, very interesting. They have some wonderful speakers and really help us understand what's going on economically in our 3-county region. On the 13th, some of us are going to be at the Commissioners' Breakfast, and others of us, myself included, will be at Latino Business Alliance. And there's also a Realtors Summit that morning. I haven't signed up for it yet, but I need to talk to Council President Smith about that. It's a 3-hour summit, but it's going to really be helpful information regarding the housing supply, what's the market doing, and because it really impacts our ability to provide housing of all types and understand how families are going to be housed in the upcoming year and beyond that. So just want to let you all know about that. There's the board. It was right there on the next page. Just have to scroll down. So 2022 is getting off to a rollicking start, but it's all stuff that we're familiar with. Rain, done that before. Wind, been there, done that. And just encourage people to be careful with your storm drains, keep the leaves off, branches down, if there's no wires involved. If there's a blocking the street, please let Public Works know. And that's all I've got. All right. Agenda input. January 10th, we'll meet in work session starting at 6 p.m. And this is going to be a presentation on the Wheatland Road multimodal corridor. Woohoo! This is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see what the designs are. On Tuesday, January 18th, we will meet in regular session. We will be closed on Monday the 17th in observation of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. February 7th at 7 p.m., we will meet in regular session. And on February 14th, we are scheduled for a work session, but somebody pointed out, Councilor Kohler, that is Valentine's Day. So we may be looking at, if we do have a topic for February, and we probably will, we might need to be looking at the fourth Monday instead. So mark your calendars for that. Just keep that date open. And we'll see what topics come up. I thought we had something scheduled, but maybe not yet. I'm looking at Ms. Davis.
Originally, we had the council procedures scheduled for that date.
Okay, so we'll bump that to the end of the month, unless somebody really wants to do that on the 14th instead of going out on Valentine's Day.
I'm out of town.
You're out of town. Well, you already did go out on Valentine's Day. There you go. So you're away for that. Okay. Fantastic. Anything else for the good of the order? Looking. All right. Thank you all. The time is 7:39 and we are adjourned.